take care about the legal obligations that a business has to do. From my standpoint, 90% of the projects out there are halfway into jail. Hello, and thank you for joining our Fireside Chats with founders at the European Cardano community. I am Marcus, one of the core team members, and if you like what we are doing, please consider supporting our individual projects. You will find the links to our guests and our projects below the video. Please give us a thumbs up, follow us by hitting the bell icon, and let's enjoy this session.
Hey, Martin.
Hi.
Nice to see you. How are you?
Yeah, very good. How's it going?
Good. Like we just been talking about that. The sentiment has a little bit changed. Maybe it's May. Maybe it's because of May. So that everybody is like ultra busy, like ultra busy, which is okay, which is good in the end, right? But we have been more in contact with NFT projects most recently, which are surprisingly serious about what they do, right? It's not just pump and dump, but some of them are having actual plans on the roadmap for creating a real business, which is pretty interesting, right? And through our spaces, we're currently shifting a little bit more into, not away from crypto, but making sure that people understand that we are actually talking about businesses that are behind the crypto projects. And I just recently posted that most founders or most people don't have an idea in what area they're actually operating. Not gray, not even dark gray, like more in an anthracite area, and they should at least read the legal obligations that they have, or get acquainted with it, have a slight idea. Because from my standpoint, 90% of the projects out there are halfway into jail.
Yeah.
It is like that.
Sometimes the impression is that one, indeed.
Yeah. And not because of bad intentions, but literally because they don't take care about the legal obligations that a business has to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
They take it as a hobby. Some people take it as a hobby, but I assume almost every country has a certain financial threshold until when something is a hobby, a financial hobby, and most exceed that by far. And then they don't even met the minimum requirements of, if a European company, for example, adding all the GDPR things to their website, or having an imprint on their website, and all these things that are incredibly necessary, launching a token before actually providing clearance about what they do, right? All those sort of things. If government is, or the authorities are just checking on it, those people are in severe talks, I would say.
Severe talks.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like the first mover advantage can be good, and there's a lot of regulations, and they're probably every day making some infringements. I'm worried about well, not really, but it is sometimes you can make it too difficult for yourself to start.
That's true.
Yeah, you have, of course, with crypto, you can make promises, but you have like conversion can be can change a lot of projects. Like with Catalyst, there's a lot of issues with dollar to euro ADA. At one point, you have a functioning project, and then the conversion factors change, and you have nothing. And then you make maybe promises, so that makes it harder. And I think it's all very new, so nobody is knowing what he's doing. So
very true. There's the one thing that we or what we usually say is start off and things work things out later at some point. Like in the very, very early beginnings, and authorities are usually knowing that and saying, okay, yeah, come on, there's a little bit of a gray area where people need to get involved into what they do. But at a certain point, there's like, let's say after a year or so, that's a long time into the game.
If you make real money, they expect you to pay taxes.
Yeah,
That's usually what it comes down to.
also that. But how have you been?
Yeah, it's good. I'm just back from South Africa. And
Wow.
yeah, it was an interesting trip. Also related to somebody was interested in also blockchain technology, but I added a little vacation to it.
Okay, nice. What is it about the technology that you've seen there?
Well, I can't go directly into it yet. It's very new, and I'm not sure if it will become something, but you can see just what you said before, NFTs
Mhm.
have been like a meme thing. But for legitimate projects, there can be, very good marketing and making people involved in your projects in a different way while still, distributing some value in a certain way, making it interesting. And yeah, in that way, blockchain allows you to tap into a big liquidity pool worldwide and also make it fun, I think.
Just make sure the fun is on the right side. And how is M2?
Originally, I'm an industrial designer working on payment systems with real hardware for, fiat coins and notes. So I ended up in Cardano with that idea of making payment systems also work in a similar way, only then for crypto and making it not completely behind the desktop or with the phone, but making some integrations into small shops or something like that. But yeah, I'm working with Game Changer and yeah, we're having this Dandelion Light project where everybody can run server APIs. Like um, Game Changer is based on Cardano GraphQL, and now looking into transitioning to Coils or Blockfrost. And we're running several of those APIs and making that available with a Docker Compose
Great.
technology or file that you can just run, and then all those volumes and settings get should be. It's still a little difficult. We're working on making it
Bless
as
you.
easy as possible to set up your own infrastructure to do queries.
Nice. I like Koyos a lot. I haven't worked with Blockfrost yet. What is your perception about the difference between the both?
I have worked with GraphQL, which I like a lot, but that looks like that API is not getting supported any longer, and there's some big performance problems with getting the address information for, it can take on regular desktop software or desktop hardware, high-end systems can take a long time to get your information. Too long, like more than 30 seconds. So I think in that way, Coils is probably a better system in that it is faster.
Like it. Very cool. Plus, hi, Boris.
Hi.
Hey, nice to have you here.
Nice to hear you.
Great. Thank you.
So, and what is the current progress with Game Changer Wallet? I mean, it's so far it has been always a little bit of a nerdy project. Has it gotten a bit more convenient or easier for the average user?
I think so. We have when we were in Buenos Aires, we have spoken with or Max van Rossum was in our course, on Game Changer Education, and he has this site called ADA Moments. You don't know if you know what it is. It's like an NFT project site, and they're actually using Game Changer to do a lot of the making the NFTs go on the blockchain. So they're using
So
actually Game Changer a lot to do.
how they do that? Like, because
Uh,
if I'll just give you the background of the question. If I, as a regular user, would see, okay, would hear, okay, there's Game Changer. It's a wallet. It's a full light node, and it's completely in your browser.
right.
Would I, as a project, like Ada Moments, be able to use Game Changer and mint NFTs or bring them to the blockchain, etc.? How does that work? How do I have to imagine that?
It works a lot in the same way from the user's point of view, that you get a window, like where you have, like if you use Eternal, you get a window to confirm a transaction. But in this case, with Game Changer, you get the similar window, only it's executing a Game Changer script. And you can evaluate yourself this script to see what is going to be happening with your wallet. So in that way, it's not like you are just signing something or CBOR signing, which has been prepared server side. Actually, you as a user are executing that script on your wallet. So you can see yourself what is going on, and it is descriptive in that it's showing you exactly what is happening. And that with I think with SIP30 is sometimes has a lot of limitations in that you cannot really see what's going on, and you have to trust the app that is handling your UTXOs in a way that you want to, because there's a lot of issues with having too much or too little UTXOs. And in Game Changer, the wallet does all the UTXO management, or usually makes it very easy.
Nice.
Yeah, it was a very interesting project. We should probably try to get them back to us to explain what are the evolution of Game Changer, because it always sounded like a very powerful tool, just difficult to integrate. But if you want to automate stuff, I think is one of the, if not the only solution that allows you complete freedom.
It gives you a lot of powerful tools that makes it actually development easier and faster, I think. And UTXO management is often the biggest part of the effort you have
Yeah,
to do as a developer. And it's
That's
good to upload that to experts like a wallet maintainer.
yeah, we found
Because
Rails. That's very convenient.
you're
But
duplicating effort.
yeah,
So I think that, and there's other wallets who are interested in that Game Changer technology as well. I think there are talks about it, but no conclusions yet on it. But I think for me, I say Game Changer protocol or something similar is is version 2 of SIP30. So it's more powerful and it's more convenient for developers. I would say it's the next evolution. Well, SIP30 is just signing.
until now, I only needed to use. I could have done everything what I needed with the Maker API, but if you want to do different stuff, then Game Changer. If you need to use transaction directly, then Game Changer would be a very nice solution.
and Game Changer has the API, but do you also work with the nodes themselves? Like, for example, most recently the Amaru node from Pragma when came out. Did you have any experience with that one?
Right now, we're using Game Changer was also always built on GraphQL, which is uses Cardano node Ogmius, all Docker containers directly from source, really.
Mm.
That is then DB Sync is ingesting all that information from the node and putting it in a Postgres database. And Cardano GraphQL then builds the API on top of that Postgres database using Hasura. But it's that's a big stack. And yeah, we're looking into there's now Go nodes, archive nodes. Have you looked into Dingo? There's all kinds of improvements which make the number of levels, or the stack is quite high for GraphQL. And it's you see that it's making it hard to optimize. So I think yeah, if you could have a pure single image solution that uses only one programming language, yeah, that would be amazing to make optimizing that whole stack easier.
Yeah, I've been so far only working with the regular Cardano node that is provided by OEG/Intersect. And then with Koyos. So
Yeah,
that's the stack that I use basically.
yeah, but Koyos also uses DB-Sync probably.
Exactly. But you save yourself the hassle of running a node for DB-Sync. And for the queries that you usually do, that works quite well. How is it for you going currently, Boaz? What is your life at the moment?
Good.
And
I'll try to take the generality. So as you know, we are under the rebellion government since January 2025, and banks are closed since that January. We don't have banks for the moment. Money circulation is not really easy, but we are struggling and try to adapt. It's not really easy to be under a rebellion government, but we are trying. Sometimes we have some crypto, and from crypto to mobile money, we get something. But this situation is going worse since I can say April. Really, things are not easy, but we are trying to do our best. Well, again, sometimes they come in quotas, avenues, and they take um, young people like me, and by force they go without any explanation, because you can't do anything on that. So if they want, they can release you, or if they don't, you go in the army. Other things here in Goma, we are trying, even though the situation is not under control, we are going ahead with our onboarding program, because they don't forbid university activities or scientific activities. So we can't stop what we've been doing before, even though it's not easy because of money and some commodities. We continue with the program. This May, we are going to have a 1 week onboarding program about Web3 and blockchain. Yes, as you know, we don't want our community to be left when the technology is going ahead. So we continue on board people, businessmen, students, developers, and many other categories. So it's how things are here in Goma for the moment. Yeah.
well, cool and not so cool. Or the other way around, not so cool.
Exactly.
Cool. Yeah, that's one of the things that we should always reconsider, how lucky we are to live in a part of the world that is peaceful at the moment. So crossing my fingers for you.
Yeah.
And still, it's remarkable how much work you still put up into growing your network around you, and there's always activity with that what you do. So that's absolutely incredible, and I don't understand why not many more of the African pools and the African community is getting support. It's so much needed, and that would decentralize the network quite well. So yeah, I'm crossing my fingers for your growth. I'm crossing for my fingers for your health, most importantly, and congratulations for being now a member of M2Tech, if I remember right, in the committee, right?
Yeah, sure. I made it. Membership and community committee for the moment.
Hey, hi, Dave.
Nice.
It's some other Google account I seem to have used.
So great to see you. Hi.
Hi.
What you guys
I
doing?
just dropped in after the dinner. Now I'm cleaning the kitchen, and I hope that the children play. But he already wants to.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
What you guys don't know, Dave and I were riding a few hours ago and said, "Oh, it would be so great to have you here again." And he said, "Oh no, I'm busy, and it's family time. I have to, and it's something that I completely understand. And he's under pressure at the moment, anyways. So it's exciting that you're here. Awesome.
It have been a lot of late nights lately, yes. and your hints again are helpful. Like everybody I ask is giving good hints where I can supplement it more.
So
Context wise, on Tuesday, I'll be pitching here in Dresden, where I live, to a Web2 normal IRL governmental fund and also some investors. And I'm just like, how did I get to know of this program? Was by pure accident when Marcus and I had chats in January a lot on how to form the company and how to do best practice and stuff like that. And I stumbled upon this program of Saxony, where you can get a startup fund if you haven't found it yet. So it's just a program that's applicable for people that want to found and haven't founded their business yet. And that's why I was like, okay, it's decision is gonna be in June after the presentations now in May. So I thought I'd take that chance and applied for the program. We had a first interview, which was just a 4 minutes call. I found this program and I applied. The first deadline was somewhere end of March to fill out the form. Then we had this first 4 minute call where it was just about presenting myself as the founder, so they get a first character profile. And now I have been invited to pitch Squeak as a 7 minute pitch with 8 minutes question time, total of 50 minutes. And I finished the slides just today and I need to send them in today. And next week on Tuesday, I present.
Just as a hint, if somebody's watching this and considering about doing any of these routes, governmental routes, people know when you use ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is not necessarily best known for providing very unique content. You should use it to improve your content and to counterplay with your arguments, right? To falsify, etc.
Yeah, it's very, very clear. Every time you see something written by ChatGPT, there are some patterns that keep repeating. So you can now guess it very, very easily.
Exactly. So, and so I think there are certain sentences that you always read in Catalyst proposals, like when you have a problem statement, it's said like the problem is there's nothing like that out there, like nothing like that, and that's most of the time it's not true. There's like 80% of that what you're trying to do is product.
Yeah.
Just another project or product. And you should know your market and should put that in there. And this is actually really good. In your slides, you know that you know your market.
Yes, and to be honest, I used ChatGPT to supplement it, not so AI to supplement it. So I had my own market research done, and really just a week ago, I was like, can this ChatGPT, at that time I used it, yeah, exactly that, do this market analysis? And I
Let's
really
say-
told it, you are a expert market analyst. I'm developing the Squeak project. I basically gave it a description, analyze the market for me, and it on its own, and it went into the plush toy market and NFT market and wrote some numbers down here and there, which aligned with mine. When I was like, okay, perfect, that's good. I did mine part good. It finds this same numbers basically. And that made me confident about what I did, but I didn't use it in
What you
this
can-
way.
There's also, I don't know, maybe you used already deep research. That's pretty good. And then
Insane.
yeah,
Like this AI will change the job landscape so massively,
Yeah.
so massively.
And also there are different LLMs for different tasks usually. They keep changing and improving, so you have to switch many times, but you can find a very sweet spot sometimes, having some
Yeah.
parts being helped out from one LLM and having the other one refining it.
exactly.
Yes. Yeah, you can. Yeah, move it through. But I think in the end, probably I want to try Gemini next. I haven't tried it yet, and I think it will. That's the one of them where I think it will succeed simply because Google just has access to so much more base knowledge that it can feed it sometimes, I believe. But let's see.
I'm using it pretty often lately for coding because it improves a lot in the last couple of months.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one?
The Google now is called Google AI Studios. They are not sure if they want to call it Gemini anymore. They
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
change names from time to time. Once it was Bard, if you remember. And before that, I was using also what's the name? DeepSeek, quite a lot, the Chinese one, and also for that for coding was pretty good. There are things that some LLM can do better than others, and it changes from time to time.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting
Yeah.
world. If you go to
Yeah.
aistudio.google.com, you can have access to the last models and the previews, and it's very nice.
What I did look into is how it is to export your data in from ChatGPT, and that works pretty well. So you get a pretty big chunk, like the complete stuff, and then you can import it into Mistral, for example.
Oh, interesting.
It's pretty cool. It's a little bit of a different structure, and you still can see that Mistral is a bit lagging behind. But if you feed it enough, it will ultimately get better. Still, ChatGPT has the lead, and I think what it is in advance of Gemini is the personal data, because Google does their GDPR recognition pretty good. OpenAI just don't care about, not that much at least. So, and they've been first mover.
I learned about Google just yesterday. We didn't do it yet, but friends of Iliana in the kindergarten, they are having this Google Nest system, and the 5-year-old child is talking to Gemini, and basically when it's bored, it just asks me, tell me a children's story about dogs getting lost and finding their way home. And it does it. This Gemini
that's wild.
Invents a storyline, and in between, that's the parents that told me, it actually gives options. It comes in and says, okay, now we could follow up the story this and that way, and this could happen, or this and that way, and then the child can choose again. And I think that's a genius way to make a child conscious of their of their opinion of what they want actually on a different level. Like I found it pretty interesting, and I want to try it too with my children.
To get more confident with their decisions and saying, okay,
yes,
yeah, an option.
Also bear the failure of transition of decisions sometimes, that the story doesn't evolve like they hope to.
Very true.
And correct it again. So
very nice.
gonna try
You know,
that
not
one
there.
too.
Very fun stuff you can do. If you go to suno.com, SUNO, it's an AI for generating music and songs. And it
Yes,
does an
yes,
incredible job. I mean, you
I
can
know.
specify, you can ask the style, and you can ask, you can provide your lyrics, but he can generate the lyrics for you.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
really amazed about the quality that they provide
yeah.
now. Incredible.
I know. It's
Right.
insane. Yeah,
Insane,
I
really.
use that too.
Need to post the link. So but we need to be quick now, because
We need
you have to
shortly
go
to
back to your
focus on it. Yeah.
you have to go back to
I
your list. Martin also needs to get a little bit of a word in the end, and then
yeah.
we are sure closing out soon.
Yeah.
So let's
Well,
I
let's
would just
rush.
focus on slides 3 and 4, because these are the slides where you were like, okay, problem and solution, where I read from your comments, Marcus, that it shouldn't, and like, what did you write? How to paraphrase it? That NFTs ain't the solution, but can be part of the direction you want to take.
Yeah.
That's more how I read your comment about it, and that's why I haven't worked on it yet, but I would like to adjust it right at that way. Like, if we are in problems, I'm already stating in the first problem, NFT projects fail due to a lack of branding, utility, and long-term value. And I would just leave NFTs away at that. I would just say startups.
Mm.
And it makes sense, because we are trying to develop a brand. So the lack of branding and understanding of what you want as a startup is already the thing. So I will NFT projects, I would change it to startups.
Yeah,
Fail due to a lack of branding.
I think the general issue might be that your audience is not necessarily familiar with NFTs.
Yeah, exactly.
So
exactly.
the question is, can you get them the idea of
Mhm.
NFT across, so that they
Yes, and
it's useful, and
like, my idea of how I make it is I turn NFTs for this thing. Our NFTs will be a permanent voucher, discount voucher, which you buy early, and then you can enjoy our ecosystem for a permanent. It's not written in there, but it's an example how to use it, as a permanent 20% discount
but that's how
whenever
you
you shop.
that's exactly how you would phrase it.
Yes.
This solution part here on number 1 is what you do in the Web3 environment. I'm collecting,
Yes.
but that is not necessary in this context. You would say things like, okay, we create vouchers so we can support startups with through a continuous discount. The main important thing is here, you creating extra products or services that
Exactly. Yeah.
they can use the NFT for.
And we are creating an identity from moment one for everyone who joins the community, who buys a product from us, through these pictures.
So
That's how I want to frame it, yeah.
So one of the problems that a startup always has is money. So and you providing something that you're offering with a discount right away, right? So for example, if I go to a legal advisor and I ask them what will be your fees like, I know right away it's going to be a bit higher than I expect them. If I go to a marketing company, what will be your fees like? I know it will be higher than I likely to expect them or want them.
Yes.
Way higher.
And way higher than you likely can pay.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
But what you offer with Squeak is you provide marketing value, probably at an affordable price, or through the NFT, at least with a discount, so it's going to be affordable.
There will come other advantages, like if you own a marmot, but that's all outside of the scope of this presentation. It's just that there will come lots of advantages if you want to enjoy this whole ecosystem. Like, we will do IRL events, and if you have a marmot, again, discount on the entry fees, like just local parties that have a special branding of us. And with such a marmot, you get it free. Without a marmot, 10 euros entry. Stuff like that is all the ideas we wanna grow with this brand, step by step out of there. Yeah.
But this is something that your judges can understand. This is something
Yeah.
that they can understand, and you don't need to explain what an NFT is.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly. I just make it. You have a permanent entry voucher system, basically.
Make a little list.
Something like this.
Make a little list of squares, for
Yeah.
example, of the services that you want to provide or the products that you want to provide.
Yeah.
And then you just make this comparison, right?
Yeah.
i.e., 1,000 euros to receive this.
Yeah.
With 5 squeaks, you only pay 200, or maybe even for things
Yeah.
like that. So
and the thing is, what they also, it's not gonna come up in the presentation, but for you, like, we have sold some of these. Not all of the 1,185 have been sold. We have given out some for free, for giveaways, whatever there was. But in total, we now make roughly 350 USD per month from Spark Airnotes, from VMT, from our miner that we got, from our liquidity that we are basically farming, and all this stuff can provide not much. Right now, it's like none of the team members right now has to pay out of his own pocket anymore, which already is a step forward, right? Half a year while we were developing the NFTs and all of this, I was paying out of my pocket. Now I don't pay out of my pocket anymore, and it's already going into the right direction through this. And I don't think any startup ever came this far with so less money, or already earning in such a short time, if you build such a brand. And that's where it grips and supports.
maybe not ever, maybe not any startup ever.
Yeah,
but
it will ever. Someone
very
always made it. That's true.
very few.
That's true.
Just for those who are holding your NFTs, and then you should maybe switch over. How do they actually reap the rewards?
Right now, through dripping in our server. So if you hold our NFTs, you get, it's basically a daily drip. Because it's the cheapest way for us. Like, I haven't built out a staking yet because it costs. With dripping, you can go into our Discord and write /drip, so a command, and you can do it daily, and you get daily tokens for it. And these tokens, it's Squeak, but some other tokens, like you get Iagon, you get VMTX, you get Titan,
But you
some
have
others.
But you have to do it daily, or
Yeah, unfortunately, it's daily.
Okay, got you.
I wanted to do it weekly, but actually the community wanted it daily. Yeah. I didn't know why they wanted daily. I thought like weekly is better. But
Same here.
well,
I would go for yearly.
yeah, I know. Yeah. Once a year, triple everything. Yeah.
Just to close this out, so we were talking about the background color as well, and and moving the slides a little bit around. But will you have a catalyst proposal as well, or will you just run with what you've got right now and build that out from your community? And same goes out to Mike.
I have not written a catalyst proposal. To be honest, I don't feel like I could gather the ADA needed to get voted through.
Okay.
That's my gut's feeling on it. And I also don't think I can handle 2 of these applications at one time, because it draws a lot of focus, and for Catalyst, you need to be active in another network. Right now, I'm trying to build this IRL network. I'm trying to get find local manufacturers for premium plush toys and stuff like that. Like, I really would love to have a plushie in the end that's fully decomposable, that you can just throw on your compost in the garden. if once it's worn and just decomposes, like you can do it with sheep wool and stuff like that. So I'm looking for that, and I need a lot of retail and how do you say the um, distribution and all of this stuff. Is more like that I need to grow a local network right now, and I think that's where my next steps go with Squeak.
I love that. I love that. The real world connection. By the way, you could even teach your kids, don't leave it in the garden, it's going to decompose.
That would be good. That would be really good. But we are also thinking for teaching kids, right, about children's books. We are already having some sample art drawn, where we want to low-key teach about uh, um, self-management and everything like this, and positive guidance to finance. Lots of ideas are there coming together step by step, growing it. But it's all over the place. And you always got to remember, I'm doing this from 9 p.m. to whatever time I dare to stay awake to get up at 6 a.m. again.
Do you know Martin,
Yeah.
by the way? Have you met somewhere?
I have not met David, if that's what you're asking.
Yes, exactly.
No, we have not.
Martin is on the hardware, has been on the hardware side, still is on the hardware side, but is a heavy developer as well. So he's in the game changer ecosystem.
Heavy developer.
He's in the game changer ecosystem, and he's one of the geniuses out there. So if there's some technological question, you might reach out and might find
Awesome.
wonderful member of this community. And vice versa, by the way.
That's great.
If you need support in marketing, Dave is brilliant about that. And he got us connected with PromoFacy. The guys are also awesome. But Dave wants the spark. He's always there. He's always around. He's basically a neighbor. He's from Germany. Martin is living in the Netherlands. Netherlands.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. But do you have a proposal, Martin?
I'm working now on Dandelion Light. It was funded in Fund 13. I had a proposal in Fund 5. We did the totem in Fund 7. The payment, the paypad was Fund 5. And Fund 12 was Game Changer Education. So yeah, I've been very fortunate in that I could have had funding via Catalyst because I was there in the beginning. I think we had a lot of trust from the community to make these projects into something which is usable.
I mean, there were 10 people back then in Cardano, so
it's growing every day, huh?
No,
Well, it's been a wonderful adventure, yeah, just being to South Africa and also being at a constitutional convention in Argentina, meeting Adriano there, and doing this game changer education thing. On the Andamio platform, we have a full course which you can use freely, and also on work.courses or wisdom.
That's what I wanted to ask. Did you upload it there as well?
Yes. So yeah, I invite everybody to look at how that can inform you, because it's quite extensive and it has a lot of videos and examples. So yeah, it will, if you are like Game Changer is just a wallet, or what is this GC script these guys keep talking about, I would just go there and use one of our premium educational platforms, which is, wonderful that we have multiple in Cardano. So
really happy. That was a mystery box today.
Yeah, it was a very typical Fireside chat.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Yeah, we've been discussing whether a proposal as well today, and we will see how much the community needs us. And if we are needed, then you guys need to get the word out for us. So that's the only favor we ever ask. Perfect. So I think that's 2, 4. No, I think it's 4, 5, 6 sessions that are left so far before the summer break.
Exactly.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
Great.
Thank you for, giving the podium.
Yeah, you're very
Having
welcome as
us,
always.
exactly. Thanks a lot.
Thank you
And-
very much, Dave.
Please join us again. It's always a pleasure to have you guys.
Bye.
Okay, bye.
Cheers.
Bye bye. Ciao.